Well, it looks like there are some very historic changes occurring on the continent of Africa. One of Africa's longest rulers, one of the world's longest rulers, Robert Mugabe, it looks like his rule, his iron grip on Zimbabwe is loosening, and it sounds like his reign, his rule, is beginning to come to an end. Now, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, or who may be a bit ignorant about world events, Robert Mugabe, the president of Zimbabwe in southern Africa, the longest ruler on the planet, rules the country with an iron fist. He's basically a dictator, a black Hitler. He even has the mustache of Hitler, and he's ruled the country of Zimbabwe since 1980, when Zimbabwe, which used to be called Rhodesia, was granted independence from Britain after Rhodesia declared unilateral independence to become a white minority rule country, and Mugabe and revolutionary forces took over the country and got independence and called the country Zimbabwe. And that's where the country goes downhill from there. And it's really sad and it's really shameful, as black people especially, that we take a country and we have the opportunity to build a great nation, a nation which is about the size of Germany, which has a lot of resources, a lot of riches. It has the manpower, certainly, and we have the opportunity to build a great black nation, which doesn't have to just be exclusively black. It has whites in it, and we could have the potential to have a superpower in Africa, and we completely blow it with Mugabe. Not only is he a very violent, horrible person and a very nasty dictator, he has also destroyed his country economically. Zimbabwe is probably the only country where millionaires are eating out of dumpsters. That is how worthless the Zimbabwean dollar is. You could have $1 million Zimbabwean dollars. You could be a millionaire, and you're still poor as hell. That's how worthless the Zimbabwe dollar is. You see money, Zimbabwe dollars, just strewn around like pennies. It's like a penny. You see a $10 Zimbabwe dollar bill. That's like a penny, or some worse than a penny. They use American money. They use South African money. It is really a terrible situation. And to make matters worse, they have made the mistake of chasing out white people, taking white farms, taking white businesses, and brutalizing white people, chasing them out, killing them. It's like almost like a mini Holocaust. I mean, you're white in rural Zimbabwe, that's like a death sentence. I'm not even kidding. A white person going to rural Zimbabwe would be like a zebra heading into a lion's den. You will be killed. You will be destroyed. And if you own property, especially if you own a farm in Zimbabwe and you're white, that's basically like going into Taliban headquarters as an American with a bullseye on your forehead. It is that dangerous. And, as much as people want to say, oh, get whitey, that's one thing that black people, especially in Africa, that's a mistake. And as hard as it is to admit, white people bring prosperity. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. And when white people leave, technically society goes downhill. Now, that's not to say that white people are the only superior people. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that whatsoever. But the thing is that there's a lot of factors with it. Many of it is colonialism, imperialism. People of color were forcibly down and tied down and anchored while white people were able to prosper. The thing is that somewhere along the line, when we were finally freed, we sort of veered into a different direction. And maybe that's not our fault, but the Asians, they faced a lot of the same problems as we did, and for some reason or another, they managed to prosper. And so, we have to kind of look at ourselves and stop trying to blame Whitey. But that's not what I'm talking about. Right now in Zimbabwe, there is a mini coup going on. The military has effectively taken over the country. Mugabe, the wrecker, is on house arrest. And for those socialists out there, those white socialists living in like Canada, America, England, and Europe who don't know anything about real life, who are just a bunch of millennials who live in their mom's basement and who listen to some shaggy professor who probably also doesn't know anything about life and saying that socialism is good and communism and fight, this and that. Well, Zimbabwe is a perfect example of how communism destroys. I mean, the place is wrecked. I was actually watching Zimbabwean state television on YouTube just a few minutes ago, and it's really almost laughable to see the content. It's like, basically, it looks like almost like what I'm doing. In fact, my camera, my lighting looks better than ZBC. That's how sad that is. But the fact that what I'm trying to say is that black people, especially the ones in Zimbabwe, have the opportunity again to create a great nation. With Mugabe essentially gone, I mean, he's still in power right now, but it doesn't look like he's going to stay in power for much longer. It looks like he's either going to be forced to resign or something like that. I think that's what's going to happen. He's rigged his way election after election, and now the military is saying, enough is enough. But Zimbabwe, an African nation with a lot of resources, a lot of manpower, they have the opportunity to create a great nation and to make black people proud. Stop chasing out Whitey. Stop trying to kill Whitey. Stop destroying the economy. Stop having politicians and rulers who are greedy and who only care about themselves. There's an opportunity now. First of all, we got to get rid of Mugabe. Mugabe's done. He's like 91 years old with that Hitler mustache of his. Get rid of him and his little wife. Get rid of them. Just send them out somewhere. I don't know. Send them, exile them. I don't know. You want to go to Namibia? You want to go to Uganda? You want to go to South Africa? You want to go to Congo? Go. But get out of Zimbabwe. They should kick him out of Zimbabwe. That's it. Make the country democratic. Make the country populist. Focus on the people. Stop trying to get Whitey. Embrace the rest of the world without being globalist. Use your resources to build up your country, to build up your roads, to build up your economy, and make the rest of the world know that, yes, this is Zimbabwe, our resources belong to us, and we're going to use it constructively to build up our economy and to make Zimbabwe one of pretty much the first successful black-run nation. Come on, this has to be done. You can't blame the white man anymore. The white man has had nothing to do with Zimbabwe for years now. You can't blame the white man anymore. Stop trying to get the white man. Embrace the white man and his knowledge and his money. Bring him back to Zimbabwe and let him help you, and use the money and the resources and the things that Zimbabwe has. There's no reason why Zimbabwe has to be a third world shithole. Use what you have been given by the grace of God and build the first successful black-run nation. Let's go. You can either these military people can either do what they want with Mugabe and then turn into another Mugabe, which is probably what's going to happen, or they can take my advice, the Arana Nation advice, and do what I've suggested. I know I'm just a Canadian dude, who makes videos, but, I've got a lot of followers, a lot of smart people follow and listen to every video I make. I've got a lot of bright people from not only in Canada, but all over the world who listen to me. I think that if these people are wasting their time listening to me, that means I must have some knowledge. And, Zimbabwe is far from a perfect country. It's not even it's a dump. But there's an opportunity now. The opportunity's open. Take it, grab it. And all I have to say is, for people who live in Western nations, especially Canadians, take lessons from Zimbabwe. Because Canada is heading down the road, the same path as Zimbabwe is heading. The same socialistic, left-wing, reckless economic politicians. It seems like Canada is heading down the road to Zimbabwe. So pay attention. This is not a very pleasant life to live. These policies that, have been implemented throughout the years has made Zimbabwe a hellhole. If God told me you have a choice, you can go to Zimbabwe or go to hell, I'd tell him, burn me up in hell. Nobody wants to go to friggin' Zimbabwe. So the politicians of the world, these ignorant Western politicians who don't know anything about the world, look at what has happened with Zimbabwe and take heed.